Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. Today is Friday, January 26th, the last trading day of the week. Let's see if we can get strongly into the green. Watch me trade my morning strategies in oil, gold, and the NQ right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that's put out there is at risk for loss. Okay, so like I mentioned, today is Friday, January 26th, last trading day of the week. Big believer that if you can end off or you can get your Friday into the green, gives you that nice positive feeling going into the weekend and going into the new trading week next week. We had a high impact news this morning at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. It was a PCE report. And as you can see, if I go right here to 7:30 in oil, which is always on my left-hand side of my chart, not much activity there. But in gold, obviously much more activity surrounding that 7:30 report. Now, what can you do with that piece of information? Well, that's simple. Journal it. So, big believer, if you follow my channel, I journal all my trades every single day. And I've put videos out there on how you guys can, the simple steps of trading every single morning. But that's something that you might want to enter into your journal. Hey, especially if you're a commodities futures trader. So, hey, you know what? The gold market reacted to that PCE report. Oil did not. Take a look at the ES, take a look at the NQ, see what those markets did. And what you can use is the next time that report comes out, you go back to your notes, you take a look and see what had a catalyst, what had a huge impact in the market. And based on that, the more and more data that you get, the more and more observations you can get from it. Now, is the market going to react the same the next time? Absolutely not. Um, could it? Absolutely. So it's little things that you can do, little tweaks that you can make to try to become a better trader, a trader that has more confidence. Because when you've got the good data behind you and you're able to draw from observations that you're seeing and your past performance and what the market is doing, that only just helps build your confidence in your market, in your strategy, in your and your ability to trade and to keep trading, and stay in this game as long as you want to. So that's what I've got. That's my tip this morning on what you can obviously do with news. If we take a look at our trades from yesterday, obviously we trade oil, gold, and the NQ on this channel every single day. And yesterday, oil performed really nicely. We had an inside bar at 8:25 a.m. Activated us to the short, 11 ticks, $111 profit on that trade. Our second session in oil, which starts between 9 and 10 a.m., that also got activated to the short and was able to capture 18 ticks or $180 in profit. I only traded session 2 yesterday, so I was able to capture that trade, as you guys saw in my video. Post a video every single day, guys, on my trade setups, so you guys can, one, see me doing it, and the one thing is to watch the strategy videos that you see on YouTube. Another thing too is watching somebody actually trade those strategies, and you should know exactly when I should get in and what my take profit and what my stop loss is going to be. So that's kind of the issue that I've had for so long with a lot of the YouTubers that are out there. Yeah, they have got great strategies. Yes, maybe they're fantastic traders. They're profitable, we hope. But my issue was I never understood what exactly made you get into that trade before you got into that trade, not in hindsight, not after the trade is already if you're already in the trade, and especially when you're already green in the trade. Very easy to turn on and say this is the reason why we're doing this. So hopefully you guys get some value out of me putting up those trades, these trade recaps every single day. And you guys can see a repeatable strategy that has very fixed rules, rule-based conditions that allow us to know exactly when I'm going to take a trade, what my stop loss is, what my take profit is, and when I'm not going to trade it. So very simple. Let me pull up our top step eval. This is our $50,000 eval. Took a small loss in our trades yesterday. So our account currently sits at $50,301 after 6 days of trading this. So we still got a ways to go to our $3,000 profit. Hopefully the markets here can act favorably for us. Yesterday, I know the Rob reversal, very popular trading strategy, and just like to go over this every single day. I show you guys the winners, the losers. In fact, yesterday we did not have a trade. So opening time 8:30 right here, a lot of chop right here, and then we get a nice little downtrend. Got a setup to go long at 12:45, so that fits our candlestick pattern. It fits our time condition, but it does not meet our EMA condition. So it closed below the 80 EMA. It's asking to go long. This is an invalidated trade. Now we would get a good setup here at 145 with a short setup that closes below the 80 EMA. Now, would we take this trade? No, because this does not fit our time condition. We don't take this trade after 1:15 Central Time. This was at 1:45, so everything past, where would it be at? It's past this candlestick right here is invalidated, so no trade. Very simple setup. If you want to learn more about the 15-minute NQ reversal, there is a video that is linked below in my description, and hopefully I get to see you guys here trading. Let's stick around for what trades I take this morning and the recap for the day. See you guys here in a little bit. All right, here we are about to get into our first setup in gold. You can see the inside bar forming here. You're going to notice here that at this entry, it had to be really quick.
Order submitted.
That's why these ATM strategies.
Order submitted.
That I purchased from Trade Devils helps me out tremendously on these inside bars, especially if you're trading this manually like how I do. Now, another thing that you're going to notice here, hopefully you guys can see it on the chart, had just a shit ton of slippage on this order. And, after making my adjustments, I did not like to see where my risk to reward was kind of sitting at with this trade, just based on the slippage that occurred. And I make the decision here to adjust my take profit and my stop loss to make it more one-to-one, which is what I'm generally looking for. Obviously, there's always a tick of offset there on my trades, so that I also account for, but I just didn't think it was fair that I'm going to take in so much more risk than what my reward would have been. So as much as I don't like making any adjustments to my take profit and my stop loss, here I definitely did. And again, I believe here we're flirting with the. We were flirting over here with the overnight open. And just now looking for sellers to step in and take this price action down to our take profit. First trade for me of the day, so going green right in the beginning would be fantastic. Again, got this video sped up just because this one takes This one takes a good amount of time. I think it takes about maybe 15 minutes in total. So with the power of editing, was able to cut that down to a few minutes, and let you guys kind of see here what price action wants to do. A little bit of sweat here again. Stronger green candle. So buyers kind of stepped in there, and just looking for that area to be defended and for sellers to kind of step back in, and hopefully there it is. It's going right up to pretty much the overnight open. And if we can get a rejection off of that and take us back into our right there, took almost full take profit by a tick. Still stayed in this trade, and that's what you kind of have to do on these. You'll see why.
Target filled. Order canceled.
All right, so here we get into our oil trade for the day, session 2, which is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Time. We get activated into a short here, and pretty much right off the bat kind of works against us. We had the overnight open right above us, and again, I just kind of use it as a reference point. I don't use it as a discretionary filter in my trades, but I will be, obviously, I like to be aware of where that is at, and sometimes it'll provide you with a good kind of resistance level. Sometimes it just wants to go right through it, which is usually a continuation of the trend, which in this case in oil, we obviously have a pretty clear uptrend. So we are going against the trend right now in this trade, but it's just a temporary, we're looking for that temporary move downwards, which, unfortunately here we just don't get. Goes through the overnight open, is obviously hitting some areas where price action has gone before and is kind of ranged out. And, I'm liking this candle here. I'm liking the fact that sellers have kind of stepped in, but we're still a ways away from even our entry point here. And with the stop loss where it's at, could very easily take a full stop here. But again, I'm not hoping for that. Same thing on this trade. Didn't have quite the same slippage as I did in gold, but still I think maybe a tick there, a tick or two of slippage, maybe one tick. So not as bad as it was in gold. So didn't really make any adjustments on this trade. Just kind of let the trade play out and see if we can end the day here with 2 winners. But unfortunately, buyers step in and knock us out.
Stop filled.
All right, so not the greatest day of trading. Obviously, things can always be worse. At the end of with the dust all settling, took a win in gold, took a loss in oil there, session 2. Ended off the day minus $10. So it's like you're trading, you're in front of charts for 2 hours, and you come out with a $10 loss. Those days kind of stink. But on the flip side, could have been a $200 loss. It could have been a $290 loss day. So overall, you had one strategy that won, one strategy that lost. If you took both trades in oil was just nasty. I mean, yesterday both oil trades won. Today both oil trades lost. So I know there was some news that was coming out in oil as the sessions kind of went along, and just a constant rip up on this oil trade. So first trade, obviously we get activated short, 50% maybe to TP. Just to get knocked out. And this one, we just get wicked in. These are the ones that really kill. We just wicked in, taken out. So those two trades hurt. I only take session 2 right now. Still waiting for session 1 results to get better, and if they do, I will put them in. Be honest with you, I think that we're probably even, maybe one losing session since I've started this whole taking session 2. So as of right now, the back testing has kind of worked, and looking just for session 2. Now, does it hurt to sometimes watch, like yesterday, watch session 1 win? Yes, and I told you guys that that is a a big mental side of trading, is when you make a decision to maybe take out one of your trade setups. Okay, just because you've researched it, you've back tested it, and you say, you know what, the edge there has diminished. And this goes to not just to my oil strategy, but this is to pretty much any strategy that you're working off of. In scenarios like that, it's hard to it's hard when you take a trade off, or a setup to take that off and just to watch it win. But you have to flip the psychology on that. Instead of thinking, "Man, this sucks that I'm not in that trade," you should be excited that the trade setup worked, because eventually you're hoping that that is a setup, or a session in my case, that I can add back into my morning trading routine. That's the way you got to look at it. That's the way I look at it. I don't look at it as, crap, that sucks. Um, I wasn't in that trade. That's not the way to look at it. So obviously you guys also saw gold. Gold was a nice winner here. 22 ticks. The You guys noticed that what happened there with gold. I moved around my stop loss and my take profit, as reported in Discord, and a lot of the other members were pretty much stating the same thing. There was a lot of slippage in that gold trade, and when I started to kind of do the math as to where my stop loss needed to be, it just didn't make any sense. I'm not going to take that kind of risk to and make a very little return on my investment. So I moved up, or I should say, I moved down my stop loss, and adjusted my take profit to pretty much match what my strategy would have been exactly if there was no slippage. Okay, so it reduced the size of my trade, but at that same time, I felt like my risk to reward was much more in line. So, and I let people know in Discord that that's what I was doing. I think a lot of people might have done the same thing. I mean, once we hit full take profit there, it seemed like a lot of people were kind of on the same page there. Obviously, you got to trade however you feel works for you, and make adjustments sometimes on the fly. You guys have been watching me now for 2 or 3 months, trading this every day. I don't like to make adjustments at all on my take profit and stop loss. But on a scenario like today, I'm not an idiot. I mean, I realized that there was a shit ton of slippage on that trade, and I just wasn't comfortable with the risk to reward. So, sometimes you have to make an adjustment, and that's kind of how that one played out. So, 15-minute Rob reversal. Let's see here. Pretty much at 8:30 in the morning, we get an indication to go long. So time condition was okay. Pattern was okay. Closed underneath the ADMA, no trade. So as of right now, we've got no trade. This is on my funded Top Step account, and I'll let this one keep trading, and we'll see how that trade goes. I'll give you guys an update on that one on Monday. Listen, not the way that I necessarily would have loved to go into the weekend, but down $10 is not the worst thing in the world. So we will live to fight another day. I'll see you guys here on Monday. Please make sure to like the video. Leave me a comment below. Let me know how you guys did today. And subscribe to the channel. Thanks, everyone. Happy trading.